thing we're going to make is chocolate cremant and chantilly. This is one of my favorite recipes. It has many different textures of chocolate. You've got a dense chocolate cremant with the Maracaibo 65. You've got a light milk chocolate chantilly cream with a 38% Maracaibo Creole, and then you have very clean, very thin disc of chocolate. So you have about 3 different textures of chocolate, excluding the garnish, and a very nice, moist, chewy hazelnut duckwa at the base. So for this recipe now, we are going to prepare the chocolate cremant. You have the cream. All the sugar goes in at once. So you're going to bring the dairy to a boil. You're going to infuse it. You're going to take the cream, pour some over the yolks, go back in, cook it to 85 degrees Celsius, take it out and pour it over the chocolate, Maracaibo 65%. And then we're going to homogenize it, keep it in the refrigerator, and it's best used the following day. So the chocolate has a chance to firm up, settle down, and the texture has to be very soft and creamy. Put it into the yolks. Okay. It to 85 degrees Celsius. The base with chocolate. We're going to just dissolve the chocolate a little bit. The texture now, it is not mixed too well, but once we homogenize the whole base, it's going to be a nice, beautiful texture. The cream will look the next day. You might have to just mix it a little bit, nice and smooth. And you will fill a piping bag and start piping from the outside. So that's how you pipe it. Nice even rows and not on the corner. Come a little bit on the inside. Okay. And on the inside you can do the same thing. You can either pipe chantilly, which is very simple to prepare. Just boil the cream and pour it over milk chocolate, 38% Creole Maracaibo, and refrigerate it overnight. So this is cool now from the refrigerator. I'm going to pour it. You see how nice and creamy it is, thick. We're going to take it. It's called milk chocolate chantilly simply because we're going to whip it up just like a chantilly. But instead of it being plain, here we have milk chocolate. Because once it's over whipped, then the texture will change. It doesn't take too much time, just maybe a couple of seconds. The longer it sits, the thicker it will get. So before I finish this finally, I'll make sure I'm set up here correctly. So I have a thin disc of chocolate. I'll go with probably the dark one here. It's nice and square. You see how flat, thin, paper thin and flat. And now, take my milk chocolate cream. So you see, I generally try to stop it before it over mixes. See, it's just still soft. You might say it's not whipped enough. Okay? But I'm going to finish whipping by hand. The longer it sits, the thicker it will get. So before I finish this finally, I'll make sure I'm set up here correctly. So I have a thin disc of chocolate. I'll go with probably the dark one here. Or milk. I prefer to change it so you have some contrast. So you have dark chocolate cream, dark chocolate plaquette, milk chocolate chantilly, and I finish it off with the milk chocolate. See how thin it is, paper thin. A hard time cutting into it and eating it. So you don't want this thick chunk of chocolate. You want a very delicate texture. It's off frozen marble. You spread the chocolate, you cut it and roll it. These plaquettes were made with spreading tempered chocolate very thin, very fine on an acetate sheet. So after the chocolate crystallizes, you cut the shape out and let it sit overnight, and next day you take the acetate out and you have a nice smooth texture and a good gloss on it. I like to keep one the other way. So flip like this. mixed dessert. If you like, you can also give it a little dusting of powdered sugar.